Hey Pisces, welcome. My name is Monette and this is my channel Evolve with Monette. This is going to be Pisces, Moon, Sun and Rising, the intuitive read for the year ahead of 2020. This is our first time working together, Pisces, and so I want to explain to you how I work. I work with both angels and my intuition, as well as a few tools here, some cards, and I want to introduce you to those, okay? For those of you that have just met me, I'm a professional intuitive empath. I am a life path 3, all around creative, a chef, an author, and all that jazz. So now that we know each other, let's get to know the cards. I'll be using a major arcana deck here that is well loved and laminated because it was going to fall apart. You guys have stuff in your life like that? Just can't get rid of it. And whoever gets rid of a good deck of cards, right? So that's one that I'll be using. I feel compelled today. It's not Daughters of the Moon for you guys today. It is going to be something out of the Akashic Tarot. This is so interesting because I have a Pisces friend who is ethereal and light, as this person is here, and blonde and blue as this person is here too. So I think of her and I'm drawn to that deck today. So that's the Akashic Tarot book, but I'll be pulling a card from there. I will also be using my regular handy dandy gold tarot here. So you may see those flashing in the light, Pisces. And then we're going to pull a few angel cards as well. And, we cannot forget our signifier. Now the signifier, I use a Sacred Rebel deck, and these are pretty meaty, so I'll be reading from the book for you, dear Pisces, so that you understand exactly what your angels want you to know for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the year of 2020. Please feel free to come back and refer to this as you need. Now, what I want you to understand, Pisces, that along with my intuition, tools, and my angels, I also have lovely help and assistance with music. My angels love to play a little bit of music for me, and I often listen to the music of a sister or a brother in your sign. Today, the one that popped out to me was Miss Liza Minnelli, none other than the one and the only Liza Minnelli. Now, there are a plethora of songs to choose from her, but the one that jumped out to me today was Cabaret. And I don't know how it's going to come up in your reading, but they asked me to do something a little different and to go over some of the lyrics because for you guys, Pisces, life and death has been on your mind. Now, this is not abnormal for you guys because you dwell in deeper, more psychic realms. Again, I do want to make a nod to the tragic passing of Kobe Bryant, who absolutely touched all of our lives. Even if you heard about the loss of it, it just seemed cruel and unfair. And Pisces, that's not something that you do well with parsing out. When something like that happens or when someone passes, it's very easy for you to get lost, right? Into yourself. And not only that, to retreat and almost become melancholic or depressive about it. I do not think it's a coincidence that they guided me to Cabaret. Though I will not be reading the entire lyrics of the song, the premise of the song is Eliza in the movie Cabaret singing about her friend Elsie who passed away. And she was an escapist, Elsie. She was. She wasn't Houdini. She wasn't a magician, but she escaped in the way that a lot of us do regarding substances. So it was pills and drugs for Elsie. For some of us, all Pisces are getting right into your reading before we pull a card. For some of us, it's a person that we escape into. It's a masochistic energy that we escape into in a relationship. It's a dynamic of giving ourselves over to someone completely and then having to pull ourselves back before every drop of life is sucked from our body. Pisces out there watching, the thing they just dropped into my mind was Rihanna and Hassan, the ex that she just broke up with. The thing they want us to understand, Pisces, and they want you to understand, is that you have the ability to fill the water in the vase. And the water is you. You are the water that fills the vase. The vase is your partner. Sometimes in your efforts to be loving and kind, you anticipate their needs so much that you've given yourself away, sweet Pisces. Completely depleted. Your constitution is not made for that, Pisces. Your constitution is gentle. Gentle things like yoga, gentle things like seeds and nuts, gentle activities, if you Tai Chi, These are the ways that you ground yourself and rebalance. You're not so you can go to the spin class, you can do Orange Theory, you can be part of the CrossFit world. But Pisces, those gentle things help you to recenter. And into relationship, they say, do not give yourself fully away. Your your relationship dynamics they talk about, if you do that, if you fill up the vessel that is your partner without ever requiring something back from them, you leave this world without having truly lived. But beyond that, you live in a world while you are still here where you're deeply sad and dissatisfied. An interesting way they're beginning this for me. This is not what I thought. This is not going with the format that I am trying to establish, and that's what we get for planning, right? So let's talk about some of the lyrics here in Cabaret and then get into your reading, which is going to be longer than 30 minutes. I already know. They just said it. Get over it. They said, that's to me because I'm like, I want the structure. I want it to be this way. It's not going to be this way today, apparently. What good is sitting alone in your room, Pisces? Come hear the music play. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret. Put down the knitting, the book, and the broom. It's time for a holiday. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret. Come taste the wine. Come hear the band. Come blow your horn, Pisces. Start celebrating. Right this way, your table's waiting. What good's permitting some prophet of doom to wipe every Piscean smile away? Life is a cabaret, old chum. So come to the cabaret. Your angels are inviting you this year of 2020 Pisces Sun, Moon, and Rising to come play. To not dwell in the sadnesses of life. They are our realities. We cannot escape them. We cannot escape the bittersweet moments, the losses, the revelations, and the betrayals. But this year, they said, they want you to remember that we're here to dance and to sing and to taste the wine and to enjoy the good food and the friends and the people, because our life is a vapor and it's okay. That's nothing for us to be sad about. They said, you out of all the signs understand that. While I have mentioned in some of my readings the passing of Kobe, I didn't dwell on it because not every sign has the constitution for it. But you guys deeply understand the cycles of life and how things pass from one stage to another. And you also understand that energy is still here with us, even if in its physical form it's passed away. That is for some of you Pisces out there dealing with direct loss regarding family members specifically, and the transitioning soon of family members, okay? So that's something that's coming up here that I did not expect to say, but now that we're 8 minutes into this, let me get started pulling your cards. They wanted to start with a few other things that I think they thought were more prescient, and my job here is to be a conduit to give you information and never to ask them to follow my structure, though I do always have a plan, guys. First thing that comes up, are you safe? Wow. Wow, 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 Pisces. Have not pulled this yet for any reading. Archangel Michael, I'm protecting you against lower energies and guarding you, your loved ones, and your home. Well, they were just talking about loved ones transitioning and you feeling sometimes sad. I feel led to pull one more out of this, and we're going to get into the Akashic deck. Patience, Pisces. Patience with the process. Patience, patience, patience. Archangel Jophiel, your dreams are blooming more rapidly than you realize. Still, they need nurturing and they need patience. I love this for you guys. Okay. I'm going to pull one out of our major arcana here, guys. This one shakes the table, so you're going to see that move. These guys are powerful and in action. Love it for you. Wheel of Fortune. It's time to come hear the music play. Life is a cabaret, old chums. They're beckoning you with bountiful abundance to come to the cabaret. Let's see what else comes up here. We're going to run the deck of our traditional tarot, for those of you familiar. First thing that comes up for you, Pisces. Feeling a little weary, a little battle worn. Okay, we'll talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it. That's one of the things they're asking you to do. Don't know who sings that song, but I just heard it. And what they're saying is that for you guys, oh, they're recommending some therapy this year. All right, here we are, moving to some cups here for you. What are you wanting to create and build in this year? This is so interesting. my my deck, I'm very specific, and they've done a lot of stuff here. What I mean is that I always like to read my deck a certain way, and so I put it that way. My deck is a mess right now, and I don't know why, because I didn't do that. So I guess they just wanted me to pull, meaning right side up or inverse readings. So I prefer a certain way because my energy is very positive. Strength, and then I'm going to pull one more for you guys out of here. I told you it's going to be longer than 30. The work that goes involves what you're going to be doing, how busy you will be in this year. They said one more. This is why they're getting you prepared. Here we are with Five of Cups. We're dealing with loss. Okay? So they're trying to get you ready this year to deal with some losses that happen. This does not have to be anything that you have trepidation or fear about. They said it is the circle of life. It is the path of life. This is just the way that we go. Last card pulled, signifier. This will read at the end of the reading, because what happens with these is they wrap these up so that the story is fully told. Whew. Can you see that, guys? What do you feel? I love that beautiful moon there, Pisces. You guys, so being a water sign, understand the power and the majesty of the moon. Let's get into the story. This year, what they want you to understand is not that you have to live in sadness, but that they're asking you to participate in building the life that you see for yourself, the thing that you envision, the place that you want to be, the energy that you want to have around you. They're saying it's time for you to create your family. Now, some of you may have a nuclear family already, and so that may be about tightening those bonds. But they say that this is not just about that. They say that this is about your friends that are family. This is about your exes that you still have a fond place for, and they tickle your spirit and you think of them, and sometimes you like to talk to them and you enjoy them. They said that it's okay. All of these things together build family for you. Remember I said you guys like these very slow moving energies and exercises. And what they're saying about this is that because you're tired and battle weary from the past year specifically, you feel like I need a break, and they're asking you to go easy on yourself. For some Pisces, I'm going to be honest, we are dealing with themes of loss. We really are. Now, I love to always uplift. That is my aim in all things, but I can't ignore this. And so what this is, I want to just get to this first almost, because what they're saying is that the themes of loss for you are not about, it doesn't have to be about loved ones passing, but because they asked me to mention it in the beginning, that is particularly poignant. But what this is about this year, and this is okay, this is elderly loved ones too, so this is not anybody that I'm feeling like it's happening, because I don't predict that doesn't ever come to me. But what they're saying is there's also transitioning of relationships, there's also a releasing of relationships. The beautiful thing about Five of Cups is that even though, if you were to look at this card, there are some cups that are here down, and there are two that are upright, meaning that there is still something to be salvaged. There is still a way that we can go forward here. There is still a way that we can create a space for rebirth and regeneration. We're also dealing in this card with that heaviness, and that's something that I do associate with Pisces when they're feeling sad. They said that don't worry, as you get into the next month, you're going to start to feel like I'm ready to get back to work. I'm ready ready to create a new thing. I'm ready to start again. I'm ready to push myself forward. You'll also feel a renewed bout of energy. So this won't just be that you're ready to do it and it's in thought. They're saying that this transfers into action for you. And they're saying the thing about it is, Pisces, is you do have an outline in a time where you don't really want to wait exactly for how the universe is laying it out. And they said that what you are wanting, the new reconnection, oh, for this year, it's all about the things that will be watered. Mm, the things that will be watered. And even as I say it to you, I feel compelled to pull another card as a clarifier because what are we watering this year? It's so good. Ace of Wands. So what this is about is full growth. The things that are to be watered. The things that are to be watered. The relationships that are to be watered. The interactions with those people that maybe you've been thinking about, but you haven't put the energy into. There's opportunities for growth here. There's opportunities for you to reconnect with somebody who is a catalyst for explosive growth in your life, where you have felt crushed by the wheel of fortune. They say that this year you are if we're this is where you were. We are here. We're not at the top, and that's what I like about this. We are on the side. We're coming up to a peak. And they said that for you guys specifically, because I didn't give a lot of months for other readings, they said that September is a really wonderful month of abundance in all ways for you. This is about you having trusted and kind of given over some of your fear to the universe. Hence the angel card of Michael saying that you're safe. They said that Michael is cutting the cords of the past for you, or will be intervening on your behalf, so that you are able to really move freely and to start to create the things that you want. Pisces, so often you feel, even though you are strong and you know that you feel a weakness. You feel like, do I really have this? Am I capable? And there's this like kind of like simpering, but in the best way, like, I just don't know. Whenever I feel Piscean energy come through, I just mostly want to hug them because there's always that water energy right under the surface. And to me, I intuit it as welling up of tears. Like they're just sometimes so, you guys sometimes get beside yourself and overwhelmed with the way that the world is and the cruelness in it. And you really internalize that because you're deeply empathetic, you're deeply psychic and intuitive. So it's hard for you guys to traverse that. But your angels remind you, you are quite literally strength. That deep well of emotion that some of us fear to tap into, you have the ability to naturally tap into. And because you naturally tap into it, it means that you are more powerful than everyone else that is walking through a particular journey. If there were three friends that are three signs and the Pisces is there, the Pisces would be the most underestimated, your angels say, because people see you as not always being able to manage those emotions, but they say your gift to understand even more so than those other two signs next to you emotions is your superpower. I love that for you. It's your superpower. And they said that this year they're going to highlight it. This year you're going to step boldly and go boldly where no man has gone before. I think that's a quote from Superman. And they are asking you to unleash this unbridled connection and love and compassion for humanity in your life, for people that you encounter in the market, for your accountant that you'll be talking to soon, hopefully, for those of you that are dealing with someone at a laundromat. Very specifically, they give me this laundromat, someone that you've seen a million times and you've not said anything to. This is specifically for someone who is in the northern states. We're talking New York. So they're talking about you being at a laundromat and always just going about your business and doing the very New York thing, Pisces. And they said that they're asking you to connect humanly connect, because therein lies the magic that's going to open it up. This person may not be writing you a $50 million check, even though the Wheel of Fortune sometimes can aspect inheritances, excuse me, and finances coming in a fast way, abundantly for you. This is a fantastic card for that. But they said it's not about that. It's about them offering you a nugget of wisdom that pivots you on your path in life and makes you reconsider something that you might have been dealing with. This time for building, this time for asking yourself, what do you want? Not only what do you want, but what are you willing to do to get what you want regarding emotional kindness to yourself? That's interesting because I don't feel like that's anything that's come up for any of these readings. How kind are you willing to be to yourself is a question that, as I ask it, I am perplexed by it. Not a sentiment I am familiar with. I think they're asking you to be not only more loving, but they're saying you have to trust your emotions. You have to trust your feelings, your gut impulses to push you forward in this year, and it means that you have to love more abundantly. Come to the table. What good is listening to some prophet of doom? You need to wipe every tear away, Pisces, because life is a cabaret, old chums. And your angels, again, they said, keep inviting them. Come to the cabaret. This is not the time to think, well, how did I miss this up? Because I see a lot of you looking over past relationships, and I see you like digging through, and they say you're digging through the scat. So hey, not my thing, but they said you're digging through the scat trying to find, put together the bones in the scat. You guys understand what scat is? On YouTube, so I'm trying to be as diplomatic as possible. Putting together the bones of the scat, trying to reassemble a thing that no longer served you, that your body has processed, that you have released. And that is a great power of Pisces. When you guys release, it's almost scary, because when you release from relationships, the person that you are releasing from doesn't know that you're releasing until long after you've gone. You leave in multiple parts. You leave in increments. And then one day you physically swim away and they're like, what just happened? And they said that if you've released something, you're not going to be making art. You're not going to be reassembling some Paleolithic structure. This is not the Museum of Science. This is your heart. This is a lesson that was learned, and they said release it. Let it go. Remember your innate power and strength and your work ethic and the ability to move forward. This is also about a friendship, too. So some of you, this is romantic. Some of you, this is a friendship. You've done everything you can do. You've done all the work, and you extended yourself. You embattled yourself. You felt hurt. You felt cast aside. You felt not seen and not loved. And yet and still, you find yourself not with the result that you wanted. This is not the path you would have chosen, they said. They're getting very particular about this. They're like, this is not what you wanted. What you wanted was to have relationship. What you wanted was to have continued relationship more abundantly. But that's not what happened. And so they're saying, don't beat yourself up for that. Release that. That's okay. Flush that. That's okay. You did everything you could do in the situation, and you still extracted beautiful lessons from it. I love this card for you specifically because of the song that they chose, and this is Six of Cups. So yes, we're building, but when we're dealing with Six of Cups, hold it up here. Can you guys see that? When we're dealing with Six of Cups, we're dealing with giving ourselves freely to others, and to the pleasure that that brings when we give ourselves freely to others. This is about obstacles receding from your vision as you essentially like focus on not only what you want to create, but you focus on qualities of compassion and love, guys. I love this for you so much because it's about the nostalgic walk down memory lane. It's about the past. It's about old friends and loves. And that's going to show up for you, especially around the middle of the year, Pisces. This is going to be an energy that pops up as we get into May and June. Remember at the beginning of the reading, they said that you were going to be building a family that's beyond nuclear, and it involved exes. So I love when this card comes up because it specifically means that exes could definitely be coming up for you. This is memories. This is gifts of the heart, Pisces. This is wonderful times, happiness. and gratitude. I love that for you, they said. You know why I love it? Because after we start off the year like this, my God, don't we deserve and need this? Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. I love that for you, Pisces. And now they want you to understand that you, most of all and above all things, you're safe. Like I said, when I see Pisces, I want to hug them because I feel the little kid inside. I do a lot of work with our inner child when I'm working on people's relationships and I'm looking at patterns of behavior. And for Pisces, that inner child is right at the surface. Even when I'm looking at it, like Justin Bieber is a Pisces, I see his little kid. Maybe because we saw him grow up from a kid. Rihanna also a Pisces. These are some musicians. But you know, one that came to mind tonight was Kurt Cobain, who was also a Pisces, a tortured soul Pisces. It Piscean in every sense of the word. His creativity, his artistry, his music, his psychicness. I was listening to his song, Heart Shaped Box, which is very dark. And I thought, wow, this is not a way to start the reading. Hey, wait, I've got a real complaint. I'm forever in debt to your priceless advice. You've kept me locked away in your heart shaped box for a week. There's something else he says there. And the thing about it that I thought was interesting is I used to sing that song at the top of my lungs. I was an emo teenager when he was popular. And so I remember growing up and listening to that. But it wasn't until the last few days as I was getting ready and I was hearing Pisces. I was hearing, you're not last anymore. I have a friend who's a Pisces and she said to me, oh, I'm so used to the readings coming whenever because Pisces is always last. There'll be no structure to my readings, guys. I'm going to read when I feel compelled to read and I'm going to read in the order I feel drawn to intuitively. But Pisces, this is not just for this reading. What they're saying in life, you're not last anymore. You don't have to come behind anybody else. You don't have to put your needs behind anybody else. You don't have to pick up the pieces for anybody else. You have been the consummate empaths, helpers, friends, lovers, colleagues, sisters, siblings, brothers, aunts, nieces, uncles. You have been the consummate extenders of yourself. And they said it is time for you to stand in your strength and know that you are safe, that you are protected, that you are loved, and that you don't have to forfeit being first. Put yourself first this year and watch how they bring downloads to you about your personal growth in all of those areas. They're really adamant about that, deeply adamant, and they're finishing it with the signifier of what do you feel. The thing about this is when we're looking at the card of what do we feel, we're looking at the thing of the moon. The moon is deeply associated. Remember I said Pisces, sun, moon, and rising. What does that mean, a moon, a moon, not a moon rising? I see a bright moon rising. I see, yeah, yeah, yes, positivity, something that's being buoyed. I don't even know if that's the right lyrics, but the energy of that, the buoyancy of that, especially after Nirvana and Kurt Cobain there. But what I want you to understand here, the moon sign in your chart means how you feel about things. So if you are a blank in and, like let's say a Gemini in moon or a Taurus in moon, that's how you feel about your life. And that's how you like your creature of comforts to be. Let me see. This is probably going to roll over. I'm going to try to read it. We had one that rolled over already tonight. So with Scorpio, all you water signs, you got me all tongue-tied. And also they're taking me pretty deep with the water signs tonight. You guys got a little bit longer readings. Never plan it. It just happens that way. Let's talk about it. What do you feel? All right. You guys are always hidden, aren't you? I can't even find the page. Pisces, you're so good at playing hide and seek. There are many opinions around you, Pisces. Some are helpful, but others are distracting from your truth. Although it can be helpful to hear the thoughts of others, when it comes down to it, you will have to make your own decision. Pisces, there are some of you that are going to be making a decision to deal with parental energy and palliative care. They're talking about that with you and saying you're going to need to make that decision. And there's a lot of people weighing in, and this is your nuclear family, and they're saying it's really important. It's just coming up here. I just heard to say that to you. Palliative care specifically. So although it can be helpful to hear the thoughts of others, Pisces, when it all comes down to it, do you know what you want to do? Do you know that it will be your own decision? Do you know how unique you are, Pisces? How your path, the path that you've chosen to live and create, is only one that you can do. You are ethereal, Pisces. You are magic. You guys are like gossamer threads. You're like dream catchers. You're like a million fireflies that light up the sky. That is the energy of Pisces. It's so beautiful. And they're saying, you guys think because you are small in energy, sometimes you feel like you're small in energy. I don't think that you are. I think you're mighty. But you intuit yourself as small, that you don't have great power. But are all those things not greatly powerful and unforgettable? That's you, Pisces. This oracle comes to you because you have become swept up in thinking things through too much. You've been thinking about which way to go with a matter of importance. Again, this healthcare issue is coming up a lot here for you guys. You've been thinking about the process. You've got a bit stuck in the logic of the decision. And sometimes we have to accept that any path forward, and if it's not the best path, we can change our approach later if needed. If we're slightly off base with a decision, Pisces, forgive yourself. Life will often shift and move to guide us back on track. We don't have to be perfect. In fact, there is rarely ever a perfect choice made, just some choices that feel more heart-honoring and heart-centered than others. Sometimes we can only really know the hindsight if we've made the best choice possible in that moment. At the time of decision making, we only really have our internal wisdom to rely upon, and that is all we need. That is all we need, Pisces. Just making a choice will set things in motion. The best way to catalyze the situation you are in and bring about the healing change is to stimulate your creative juices and find more inspired, energized, and enjoyable approaches to life. What good is listening to the prophet of doom? Old chum, come to the cabaret. You've got to don't I love it when they do it. They do it every time. They wrap it all the way up, whether I know what's happening or not. Come to the cabaret. The best way to catalyze it is to stimulate your creative juices and be more energized and find a more approachable way to life, not based on anyone else's feelings about your life, just yours. What do you feel? So ask yourself, what do I feel right now? And go from there. If you cannot relate to the need to make a choice between the two more clear alternatives, then the oracle brings you this message. You are at a crossroads in your journey, and the choices you make at this time, even simply choosing to do little things differently without much drama associated with the decision, are powerful triggers for some great magic to enter your life. Take a different approach to do something. Be open to what makes you comfortable and uncomfortable, but it could be exciting and interesting and fun. Even small adventures will yield big rewards. Take a trip, have some fun, see a friend. Right now, it matters less than you doing the most wonderful thing ever. It's too much pressure, and you don't do well with pressure, Pisces. And the more that you simply take action from your heart or open up to the creative magic of life and don't worry about how it's all going to work out, the bigger the creative flow of life and the plan. You don't have to sort out all the details. You're not immune to that. You only have to know that you're a natural part of the plan of life. So just spend some time with your own feelings and know that all that is going on is, in fact, working out perfectly. What do you feel? Pisces, it has been a delight to spend some time with you, an emotional delight. I would expect no different from you guys. I am excited